Now, Poisson process we know already, it is otherwise called as discrete random process. What is meant by this term discrete random process? Your state space is discrete and time is continuous. That is, time we are considering in an interval, continuous interval, and the state space is discrete. The example to the discrete random process is number of telephone calls recorded in the time interval of length say 0, t. So, it means what? The state space, number of calls received during the time interval of length t, or otherwise during the interval say 0, t. So what is the meaning? The state space is discrete and the time which we are measuring is in the continuous interval. So this Poisson process will fall under the category called discrete random process. Now, with the help of the definition of counting process, we are going to define further what is meant by Poisson process. If x of t represent the number of occurrences, x of t represent number of occurrences of certain event in the time interval say 0, t, then the discrete random process x of t is called Poisson process if it satisfies if the following conditions are satisfied. Number 1, what is it? Probability that one occurrence taking place in the time interval of length delta t is given by lambda delta t plus order of delta t. Number 2, probability that zero occurrence takes place in the time interval of length delta t is given by 1 minus lambda delta t plus order of delta t. Number 3, probability that two or more occurrences taking place in the time interval of length delta t is given by order of delta t. Number 4, very important condition which we used in counting process. That is, here the number of occurrences of an event, number of occurrences of event in non-overlapping intervals are independent of each other. Now, coming back to the definition of Poisson process once again. What does this x of t represent? X of t is not representing number of occurrences taking place at that particular time instant t. Here, x of t represents number of occurrences that takes place in the time interval of length t. It is not here at that particular time, at that particular instant t. Here, t means here number of occurrences that is taking place in the time interval of length t. Then, this process x of t is called Poisson process if these conditions are true. That is, probability that one occurrence is taking place in the time interval of length delta t, or in the interval say t comma t plus delta t. What is the interval length? T plus delta t minus t. T will get cancelled, leaving delta t. Delta t is the interval length. So probability that one occurrence taking place in the time interval of length delta t. Delta t is nothing but a very small change in t. Okay, it is a very minute quantity, a very small change in the time t, that is t plus delta t. It is nothing but a very small change in the time t. So what is the probability that one occurrence taking place during that small change in time t is given by this formula, lambda delta t plus order of delta t, meaning the higher powers of delta t are expressed as say order of delta t, and probability that zero occurrences are taking place in the time interval of length delta t is given by 1 minus lambda delta t plus order of delta t, and more than two occurrences. So delta t is a very small change in the time t. So you can have at most one occurrences takes place during the time gap say delta t, meaning no occurrence is possible or only one occurrence is possible. Not more than one occurrence is possible in the time interval of length delta t. That is why probability that two or more occurrences in the time interval t comma t plus delta t is represented as what? Only order of delta t, that is higher powers of delta t. That means what? Delta t is too small, so that higher powers of delta t are negligible. Are you able to follow? Now, coming back to the last condition, number of occurrences of event in non-overlapping intervals are independent of each other. That is, for example, if we take say the time interval of length say 0 comma t1, that is in the interval say 0 comma t1 or time interval of length t1, say n1 occurrences are taking place, and the time interval of length t2 say n2 occurrences are taking place where n2 is greater than n1, then if you see here there is a overlapping of that interval. Now if you see, if I break this, say in the time interval of length t1 say n1 occurrences are taking place, and in the time interval of length say t2 minus t1, how many occurrences are taking place? N2 minus N1 occurrences are taking place. That means what? The number of occurrences in the interval 0 comma t1 is independent of number of occurrences taking place in the time interval of length t2 minus t1. That is non-overlapping of the interval. So the number of occurrences of an event in the non-overlapping interval, they are what? Independent of each other. Right? Now, with the definition of Poisson process, we are going to derive the probability law for Poisson process. The probability law for Poisson process is given by this formula, P of x of t equal to n, which is equal to e power minus lambda t whole power n by n factorial. This is what we are going to derive now. Right? So, consider your left hand side. What is the meaning of this left hand side? Probability that n occurrences are taking place in the time interval of length t. Please keep that in mind under Poisson process. So we know what is Poisson process. It is a discrete random process. That is, the state space is discrete and the time is continuous. So n occurrences are taking place in the time interval of length t. That is the meaning. So we are going to derive this probability law. Probability that n occurrences are taking place in the time interval of length t is given by this formula. Is that clear? Now we will denote this probability that n occurrences are taking place in the time interval of length t. We denote it by the symbol Pn of t. What is the meaning of this? Probability that n occurrences are taking place in the time interval of length t. Right? So let lambda represents, what does this lambda represents here? Lambda represents, let lambda represent the number of occurrences, per unit time. Lambda represents number of occurrences per unit time. Per minute, per second, per week, per hour, we will convert that. That is what here lambda represent. Right? Now, we are going to find out what is the probability that n occurrences to be takes place in the time interval of length, say t plus delta t, right? What is the probability that to have the same n occurrences to be taking place in the time interval of length, say t plus delta t, where delta t is nothing but what? A small change in time t. The same n occurrences should take place in the time interval of length delta t. So what is the possibility? Now, how can I write this as what is the probability that n occurrences should take place in the time interval of length t plus delta t? Now, if you plot it like this, in the time interval, say 0 to, this is say 0 comma t, this time gap is say delta t, so this is say t plus delta t. What is the probability to have n occurrences to takes place in the time interval of length delta t? That is 0 comma t plus delta t. What is the probability to have n occurrences to takes place? So, how can I do that? Keeping the definition of Poisson process in mind, we know delta t is nothing but what? A small change in the time t, not more than one occurrences is possible in that time gap. That is, two or more occurrences is not at all possible in the time gap delta t. So at most one occurrences is possible. So how can I write this as what is the probability that n occurrences to takes place in the time interval of length t plus delta t? That means I can have say n minus 1 occurrences takes place in the time interval of 0 comma t, and one occurrence takes place in the time interval say t comma t plus delta t. So that put together in the time interval of t plus delta t, n occurrences is possible. Or I can have probability that n occurrences takes place in the time interval of 0 comma t, and 0 occurrences or no occurrences takes place in time t comma t plus delta t. Now, is this clear? What is meant by this? The total time interval is what? T comma 0 to t plus delta t. So, what is the length of this interval? T plus delta t. Now, we are interested in what? N occurrences to takes place in the time interval of length t plus delta t. What is the possibility? I can have n occurrences to takes place in this interval, and no occurrences, 0 occurrences is taking place here. So that put together n plus 0, n occurrences will be taking place in the time interval of length t plus delta t. In the interval 0 to t, n occurrences, and t comma t plus delta t, no occurrences. Put together in the time interval of length t plus delta t, n occurrences is taking place. Or I can have another choice. What is it? N minus 1 occurrences taking place in the time interval of length t, and one occurrence is possible in the time interval of length t comma t plus delta t, or the interval t comma t plus delta t, or time interval of length delta t. So that in the time interval of length t plus delta t, I can have only n occurrences. Is that clear? Because I cannot have another choice, say n minus 2 and 2 here. Because in delta t time period, only at most one occurrence is possible. That is, no occurrence is possible, one occurrence is possible. Not more than one occurrence is possible in that time gap delta t, because delta t is a small change in time t. So now if you see that the number of occurrences in the time interval of length t and the occurrences that takes place in the time interval of length delta t are independent of each other. That is, there is no overlapping of that interval, right? So the number of occurrences in this interval is independent of the occurrences in this interval. So by using the multiplication theorem of probability, so what will you get by using the multiplication law of probability? P of A intersection B equal to P of A into P of B. So probability that n minus 1 occurrences takes place in time interval of length t, and means intersection, and one occurrences takes place in the time interval of length delta t, or in the interval say t comma t plus delta t. They are the non-overlapping of that interval, and they are independent of each other, and therefore by multiplication law of probability I can write this as probability that n minus 1 occurrences takes place in 0 comma t, and so into probability that one occurrence takes place in the time interval of length delta t, or another choice, probability that n occurrences takes place in the time interval of length t, into probability that zero occurrences takes place in time interval of length delta t, right? Now how can I denote this? Probability that n minus 1 occurrences takes place in time 0 comma t. So we denote n occurrences takes place in the time interval of length t is given by Pn of t. Similarly, here n minus 1 occurrences takes place in the time interval of length t is given by, left hand side we have Pn of t plus delta t. What is the probability that to have n occurrences in the time t plus delta t? So this is denoted by Pn of t plus delta t. What is the meaning? N occurrences are taking place in the time interval of length t plus delta t. So Pn of t plus delta t is equal to, now according to that notation, this will become Pn minus 1 of t into what is the definition of Poisson process? Probability that one occurrences takes place in the time interval of length delta t is given by what? Lambda delta t. And what is the probability that no occurrences taking place in the time interval of length delta t is 1 minus lambda delta t. So Pn minus 1 of t into one occurrence. That one occurrences is given by what? Lambda delta t, right? Lambda delta t. And I am neglecting the higher powers of delta t. Delta t itself too small. So order of delta t is almost negligible. They are approaching to 0. I am neglecting the higher powers of delta t. Plus here, what is the probability that n occurrences takes place in 0 comma t? Probability that n occurrences takes place in the time interval of length t is denoted by Pn of t into probability that 0 occurrences takes place in the time t comma t plus delta t is given by 1 minus lambda delta t, plus I am neglecting the higher powers of delta t because delta t itself too small. The order higher powers of delta t are very close to 0. I am neglecting them. Now if you multiply this expression, you will get it as Pn of t minus Pn of t into lambda delta t, right? Now if you see, this is the only term which is free of delta t. So I am taking that term to the left hand side. So what will I get? Pn of t plus delta t minus Pn of t is equal to, if we see these two terms, I can take what? Lambda delta t as common. So I left with Pn minus 1 of t minus Pn of t. Now bring this delta t to the left hand side. So what will I get? Pn of t plus delta t minus Pn of t divided by delta t equal to lambda into Pn minus 1 of t minus Pn of t. Now take limit as delta t approaches to 0. Limit as delta t approaches to 0, Pn of t plus delta t minus Pn of t divided by delta t equal to limit delta t tending to 0 of lambda into Pn minus 1 of t minus Pn of t. Now if you see your RHS, this is independent of delta t. It is free of delta t and therefore this is like a constant. So limit of a constant is that constant itself. So your RHS becomes just lambda into Pn minus 1 of t minus lambda into Pn of t. Now if you see your LHS, this coincides with the definition of the derivative. What is that derivative definition? Limit delta x tending to 0, f of x plus delta x minus f of x divided by delta x is nothing but what? D by dx of f of x. That is the first derivative of the function with respect to x. Right? Similarly, if you see here, just compare it. Limit delta x tending to 0, delta t tending to 0. F of x plus delta x, here Pn of t plus delta t minus Pn of t by delta t. So instead of f, we have it in the form Pn. Okay, instead of the variable x, we have t. So what will be your left hand side? D by dt of Pn of t, the first derivative of Pn of t with respect to t. So if you see, this reduced to a differential equation in Pn of t with respect to t. Are you able to follow? So we are getting a first order differential equation in Pn of t with respect to t. So if you solve this differential equation, that means what? If we are solving this differential equation 1 means we are solving for Pn of t as function of t. Solving 1 implies solving for Pn of t as function of t. So let us assume our trial solution for Pn of t to be, let Pn of t to be f of t lambda t whole power n by n factorial. Let me assume that the solution to this differential equation be this, right? Are you able to follow? So using this is going to be the solution of 1 means this will satisfy this differential equation. By trial and error method, I am assuming let the solution of 1 be of this form, f of t into lambda t whole power n by n factorial. That is, if this is going to be the solution of equation 1 means this solution should satisfy this equation 1. So with the help of that, I am going to determine what is my unknown function f of t. So if this equation, this solution will satisfy equation 1. So 2 will satisfy equation 1. Now if you see here, what are all needed according to equation 1? I need d by dt of Pn of t. So what is d by dt of Pn of t? I can remove that lambda power n by n factorial outside because it is independent of t. So if I consider the rest of the term f of t into t power n, I can apply the product rule for differentiation and I can write it, right? So keeping f of t fixed, if I differentiate t power n, what will I get? N into t power n minus 1 plus keeping t power n fixed, if I differentiate f of t, what will I get? F dash of t. That function I am differentiating with respect to t. That's all. Is that clear? Then what will be my Pn minus 1 of t? These are all needed, right? So what is Pn minus 1 of t? Wherever n, replace it by n minus 1. So lambda t to the power n minus 1 divided by n minus 1 factorial. So put these two set as say 3. Substituting 3, 2 in 1. Substitute 2 and 3 in 1. So what will I get? Left hand side, I can replace it by this expression. That is lambda power, what will I get? Lambda power n by n factorial f of t n t power n minus 1 plus lambda power n t power n f dash of t by n factorial. So left hand side I have replaced by this expression. So what will happen to the right hand side if I replace? So lambda into Pn minus 1. So what will be my Pn minus 1? Already I have lambda power n minus 1. Now I have one lambda here. So it will become lambda power n by n minus 1 factorial. Okay. T power n minus 1 f of t. Right. Then minus lambda into Pn of t. What is Pn of t? F of t lambda power n t power n by n factorial. Now if you see here, any terms getting cancelled, please check it. So here we have n factorial. This n factorial we can write it as n into n minus 1 factorial. So this n and this n will get cancelled. So we have lambda power n f of t power n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. Here lambda power n by n minus 1 factorial t power n minus 1 f of t. So these two terms will get cancelled. Now if you see the rest of the terms, lambda power n gets cancelled, t power n gets cancelled, n factorial gets cancelled. So we left with f dash of t equal to lambda into f of t. After simplifying, we left with this. So, bringing back the function of t to the left hand side, I will get it as f dash of t by f of t, which is equals to say lambda. Now, integrating with respect to t on both sides. Integrating with respect to t on both sides, we get integral f dash of t dt divided by f of t equal to, what will I get? Integral lambda dt. Now if you see the left hand side, we can see very well that integral dx by x is equal to what? Log x. That is exact differentiation of the denominator if it is present in the numerator exactly. What is exact differentiation of x? Dx. Okay, dx. So that is exactly present in the numerator, means the value of that integral will become log of x. Similarly here if you see, exact differentiation of the denominator f of t. What is the exact differentiation of the denominator? Derivative of this function, okay, with respect to which variable? Dt. So exact differentiation of the denominator exactly present in the numerator means the value of that integral is that log of the denominator. So here what will I get? Log of f of t is equal to lambda t. So removing log on both sides by taking exponential, what will I get? F of t is equal to that minus sign we have to put here. Okay, we have one minus sign here. We have to put here. So what will I get? F of t is equal to, removing log on both sides by taking exponential, we will get it as e power minus lambda t. So we have determined the unknown function f of t whose value is e power minus lambda t, and if we replace it back we will get Pn of t which is equal to e power minus lambda t whole power n divided by n factorial. So which is the probability law for Poisson process, that is probability that n occurrences are taking place the time interval of length t is given by the formula e power minus lambda t whole power n divided by n factorial. Now we will move on to mean of Poisson process. We are going to find out what is the mean of Poisson process. We know mean is denoted by expectation. In unit 1, we know mean of x. Mean of x is denoted by expectation of x. Now, mean of the Poisson process x of t. That means what? Expectation of x of t. Now, Poisson process is otherwise called as discrete random process where the state space is discrete and therefore we will have summation. Now here x is a discrete random variable means then expectation of x is given by the formula summation x into its probability mass function. Similarly here expectation of x of t which is equal to summation whatever I have here the same thing x of t into what is the probability law of that x of t. Okay. So what is x of t? Here the probability law for Poisson process is what? Probability law of Poisson process is denoted by P of x of t equal to n, which is e power minus lambda t whole power n divided by n factorial. Similarly here if I substitute here in the above expression, what will I get? Summation. This x of t is nothing but what? It is nothing but n. Right? So n occurrences is taking place. X of t I can replace it by what? N. P of x of t is nothing but n. So n I am replacing into P of n. That is probability that n occurrences are taking place in the time interval of length t is given by the formula e power minus lambda t whole power n divided by n factorial. Right? Now n runs from where? 0 occurrences, 1 occurrences, 2 occurrences and it so on. So 0 to infinity. Now we can write this n factorial as n into n minus 1 factorial e power minus lambda power n t power n equal to what ma? 0 to infinity. So n got cancelled. So now I can remove this e power minus lambda t outside the summation because it is independent of n. So I will get it as, so lambda t I can club these two and I can put it as summation n equal to 0 to infinity. So I left with what? Here lambda t power n by n minus 1 factorial. Because I want to make some alterations here. Here I have n minus 1 factorial. Accordingly, I want to have my power also. So I can write it as what? N minus 1 plus 1. Right? So I can remove what? Lambda t outside. So e power minus lambda t. This is lambda t power n minus 1 into lambda t. That lambda t I am taking it outside. So I left with summation n equal to 0 to infinity lambda t whole power n minus 1 by n minus 1 factorial. So if you expand this summation, what will you get? E power minus lambda t into lambda t. When you put n as 0, so you will get negative. So you are leaving that n as 0. So you are expanding the summation over n equal to 1 to infinity. So what will I get? If I put n as 1, I will get 1 by 0 factorial plus if I put n as 2, what will I get? Lambda t by 1 factorial plus lambda t the whole square n as 3. So whole square by 2 factorial and it goes on. Now if you see this expansion, we will get it as 1 plus lambda t by 1 factorial plus lambda t the whole square by 2 factorial, and it goes on. Now if you identify this series, which is an infinite series, it coincides with the expansion for e power x. What is e power x expansion? E power x is 1 plus x by 1 factorial plus x square by 2 factorial plus x cube by 3 factorial, and so on. So this is of the form e power lambda t. So 1 plus lambda t by 1 factorial plus lambda t the whole square by 2 factorial, and so on. So this infinite series coincides with the series expansion for e power lambda t. So what will I get? Outside I have e power minus lambda t. Now lambda t, this expansion converges to what? E power lambda t. So e power, here I have two expressions involving exponential. So I will get e power minus lambda t plus lambda t into lambda t. So I will get it as lambda t. So expectation of x of t, that is expectation of Poisson process, is lambda t. Now we are going to find out what is variance. Variance of Poisson process, that is V of x of t, is given by the formula expectation of x square of t minus expectation of x of t the whole square. Right? So I already know the value for this. Only thing left behind is we have to calculate what is e of x square of t. Right? So what is e of x square of t? Again by the same argument, what will I get? Summation x square of t into p of x of t. But what is x of t? X of t is nothing but n. So it will become n square into here e power minus lambda t whole power n divided by n factorial, where n equal to 0 to infinity. Now, in order to identify the series, if you expand the series expansion, you will get what? 1 plus 4 plus 9, something, 9 into something plus 16 into something. So, we are not able to identify the series expansion. For that, we are making some alteration over here. This e power minus t is independent of the summation. I am removing outside and I am adding and subtracting, say, n. So minus n plus n into lambda t whole power n divided by n factorial. So what will I get? E power minus lambda t summation n equal to 0 to infinity. This is, I can write it as n into n minus 1. Okay, lambda t whole power n divided by n factorial plus this is summation n into lambda t whole power n divided by n minus 1 factorial. Now if you write this as, say, if you write this n factorial as n minus 1, n into n minus 1 factorial, that n will get cancelled, leaving summation lambda t whole power n by n minus 1 factorial, which is nothing but your expectation of x of t. The same expression only we are having. See here.